Hi guys, I am doing another Q&A this week. Remember that every week when I post a Q&A, you can ask me questions that you want me to answer for the next week in the comments, or if you want to send me a DM, that way it's confidential, or an email, whatever works for you. So today we have 4 questions. I'm going to start with this one. After 10 years of love, I got broken up with and I can't move on from it. How do you move on from someone that you were with for 10 years who ended up cheating on you and still talks to you about needing money or needing emotional support or whatever, and you just feel like you can't move on from them? Usually people say you absolutely need to go no contact, and people find no contact so hard because it's extremely challenging, because letting go of someone out of the blue, no longer talking to them, no longer having access to them, it literally feels like you're going through withdrawals from a drug or from something that you've been really addicted to. So my answer isn't going to be go no contact. My answer is going to be ask yourself, what is it that's stopping you from contacting this person? What is it that's stopping you from removing their access to you from your life? What's stopping you? Because usually it's a fear. Usually it's a fear of, how am I going to survive without them? They fill this void within me. There's a quote that I always go back to that says, "How empty of me to be so full of you." Listen to that. How empty of me to be so full of you. When you feel like you have so much space inside of you, like you are nothing without that person, you are going to fill yourself up with their validation, with their problems, with being there for them and getting that happiness that you see on their faces to fill yourself up and to feel like you are somehow of value. When you are full of yourself or content with who you are, you no longer have that need to have something fill that void. The reason that we go for people who are really bad for us, or people who use us or manipulate us, or people who we know we mean absolutely nothing to them outside of what it is that we have to offer them, is that we feel so empty without them. But you're not just empty without them. You're empty with or without their existence in their life. That fullness that you get from being there for them, from listening to them, from letting them manipulate you, from letting them lie to you, from letting them come back to you after leaving you behind for as long as it is, that's not a real feeling of fullness. That's a fake feeling of fullness. It's like drinking water the entire time. You're filling yourself up, but are you really nourished? You're still starving for some kind of substance. You're still starving for some kind of nourishment. But all you're really getting is something that just keeps you surviving. You never feel that fullness that's like, I can be myself. I am loved as I am. I am accepted as I am. It's a fake feeling of fullness. And you're so full that you can't take anything else in that actually has any value. Ask yourself, what is it that's stopping you from cutting them out of your life? That's going to be your key that helps you to move on from them. Once you become so aware of the toxicity that they constantly bring into your life by not only treating you badly or not giving you the same way that you give them, but also by depleting your energy so much and making you so unavailable to good people who are good for you. Once you're able to see that, you will be able to introduce more and more steps into your life where You can start going no contact for an hour a day, and then maybe 2 hours, and then maybe 10 hours, and then maybe a day for that very first time. And you know how painful it's going to be, but you start training yourself to bit by bit extract them from your life. And I've said this before in Sparks of Phoenix, and I'll remind you, if the poison of pain took time to enter you, it will take time to leave you. So don't think there's something wrong with you for not being able to instantly cut somebody who's bad for you out of your life. It took time for you to get addicted to that poison. It's going to take time for you to get clean from that poison. So be gentle with yourself. Should I seek someone who's already perfect and views me as perfect, or should I seek somebody who is working on themselves and willing to change in order to be good within our relationship? I don't think you can ever meet somebody who is perfect. I think there is an illusion out there that you can meet a person who is exactly what you need. They are exactly as good as you need them to be. I think that's a really faulty message that social media shows us. I think you can find somebody who has all the values that you are looking for, like honesty and respect and commitment and loyalty. But you're never going to find somebody who you look at and you're like, you are absolutely perfect, because nobody is perfect. We all have our flaws. And even as good as we might be, we have our off days, and we have our days when we snap, and we have our days when we're in a bad mood. We have our days when we have childhood traumas come up and we start behaving in ways that are out of character. You are not signing up for, this is one of my favorite things that Esther Perel says. She says, do you want a love story or a life story? You are signing up for a life story with someone. It's not just about the romantic aspect. You are signing up for their good days and their bad days. You are signing up to go through the difficult times with them and for them to go through the difficult times with you. You are signing up for the, I'm going to see you without any makeup on your face and you're not going to be looking as good as you look on your social media. You are signing up for reality, not fiction, not what we see, these perfect highlight reels and look at what I bought and look at what we did together and look at what they got me as a gift. That's the easiest level of commitment to get from someone, is to put on a show that you're in a good relationship. The real hard stuff that makes a bond healthy and strong between two people is the one that exists between the two of them when no one else is watching. So I wouldn't say look for somebody who's already perfect. Look for somebody who is willing to work on themselves. Look for somebody who takes your input and values it. Look for somebody who doesn't think they are perfect, because if they do, that tells you they are not willing to change anything, not just for you, but for themselves. Sometimes people are content in their misery. They are content in knowing that there is more they can do. It's just that they don't want to. Don't take that as an invitation to prove to them that they need to make changes in their lives, or to prove to them how beautiful change can be. Maybe that's not something they want. And for you to try so hard to gaslight yourself out of your own wants in a person and out of your own goals for what kind of relationship you want, where there's that mutual growth together, and I can listen to you talking about the things you think I should work on, the things you've noticed, and you can listen to me as well. If that's who you are, don't go for somebody who thinks that they are perfect. Also, don't go for somebody who thinks that you are perfect and you could never do any wrong, because that also rids you of any opportunities for real growth. You know that you have certain things you need to work on. Maybe there's a dream that you have that you are so afraid to go after because you think, well, I don't have what it takes. And if you have somebody who meets you and thinks you're perfect as you are, they might tell you, you know what, if you think you can't do it, that maybe that might be true. You want somebody who tells you, let's sit down and figure out what's stopping you from going for that one thing that you really want to go for. So don't look for perfection, and don't look for somebody who thinks that they've reached perfection or somebody who thinks that you've reached perfection. Look for somebody that you can live life with. The last question I will do today is, I'm coming to a lot of realizations and acceptance, working hard on healing and letting go, but I'm having a hard time with the phantom hoover effect. It's like my brain is gaslighting myself, and it's so mentally conflicting. In last week's Q&A, I talked about the hoover effect and how it usually happens with narcissists, and it's how they try to suck you back in. So if you're interested in just the hoover effect in general and narcissists, go back to that video. I'll link it here and you can listen to it. The phantom hoover effect is kind of like when they've tried so hard for so long to get you back and then they stop. And there's a part of you that's like, are they going to continue trying to get me back? Or is this part of their strategy? Are they still thinking about me? I got so used to them wanting me back and now they don't want me back anymore and it's hurting me even more. Sometimes we still get that faux feeling of being wanted when somebody that we don't want still wants us, when somebody who's not good for us still aches for us. There's something about what it does to our ego, to the way that we feel about ourselves. We get some kind of validation like, see, I was good to you because you are still going for me. But when they stop, there's still that phantom pain. Like, I really want them to want me, but I don't want them to want me, but I want that feeling of them wanting me. And it's no longer there, but I still feel it because I felt it for so long. So when you're struggling with that, I want you to, first of all, just calm down and realize how normal that is. As a human being, when something has been in your life for so long and all of a sudden it's not there anymore, regardless of whether it was good for you or bad for you, you're going to go through a period of withdrawals. You're going to go through a period of, oh, how come they don't want me anymore? How come they're not trying hard anymore? Did they find somebody else? Did they come to some realization? Are they doing something bad behind my back, like talking badly about me now that they're not coming after me anymore? You start going through all this confusion because for a while you had a certain level of clarity. I know they still want me back. Now I don't know. When they wanted me back, at least I still had some kind of connection to them, but now I don't feel that anymore and I don't know what to feel. But I had a clear understanding that they wanted me back, and maybe that understanding that they wanted me back stopped me from moving forward with my life. And now that I don't have any indication that they want me back, and I still haven't moved forward with my life, I don't know how to move forward with my life. Do I just leave them in the past and move on and meet somebody new? Or do I keep waiting until they come back and maybe they'll apologize and maybe they'll change and maybe this and maybe that? So you're going through a period of trying to make sense of what's going on. And there's a quote that I always repeat as well that says, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. Muddy or murky water is best cleared by leaving it alone. When you try so hard to stir things up and make sense of things and ask questions and think about, are they coming back? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? You're making that clarity that's in front of you even more and more murky. You can't see through it. When you let things be and stop trying to understand them and maybe just tell yourself, you know what, this doesn't make sense and it bothers me that it doesn't make sense, but I'm choosing to not make sense of something that already doesn't make sense. I'm not going to put my energy into it. Everything becomes clear in front of you and you will have a clear view to see the other side. And once you have a clear view, you have that certainty that you will be okay without all that mess, that dealing with somebody who is most likely narcissistic or a full-on narcissist. and trying to change them or figure out what they want. What do you want? Do you want somebody who was so bad for you to still want you? It might be the best compliment for you that they don't want you anymore, because it might mean that they can't manipulate you anymore. It might mean that they know that now you've become so much stronger and you could see right through them. Take it as a compliment. Take it as an indication that you've grown as a person. But it's okay to struggle with them not wanting you anymore. You felt really good with that attention for so long, and then that attention turned toxic, and you kept trying to change it, and you kept trying to reverse it, and all of a sudden they either discarded you or you walked away, and you still have that addiction to the attention, whether it's good or bad, and you still have the addiction to trying to change that attention to go from bad to good. First, you were addicted to their great attention that made you feel so good. And then that attention turned into toxicity, into bad treatment, into manipulation, into gaslighting, into degrading you and make you feel awful about yourself. And then you were addicted to trying to change that bad attention to the good attention that you had initially. And you tried so hard, and then all of a sudden they discarded you or you walked away from them, and that attention was gone, and that effort that you put every single day to change the bad to the good was gone. And so you're left with the addiction, but there's nothing to feed it. You're going to go through withdrawals. You're going to struggle. And it's not an indication that you need them back in your life. And it's not an indication that you need to try harder to convince them that you deserve, that they are the way that they were with you at the beginning. It's an indication that a person walked into your life, pretended to be someone they're not, showed you their true colors, walked away, or you walked away from them. You learned something about yourself and about your worth and about what you deserve, and you're going to move forward with your eyes wide open the next time you walk into another relationship. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to go through withdrawals. Just try to not reverse the struggle and the withdrawals by going back to what you know is bad for you. Go through the struggle to move towards something that is good for you. I hope this helps. And remember, every week I will be doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will make sure to answer them next time. Thank you for listening and have a lovely day.